Whoa, 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 whoa! What is up, white people? Yes. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody has an amazing day as always. I'm your host, the Honorable OCT, OctaviusHaye, and this is the WACCast podcast. So without further ado, let's talk whack to 'em. Tory Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, or whatever the actual charge is, but essentially for shooting a gun and hitting Meg. He's been sentenced to 10 years in prison for that. Of course, everybody had been waiting to see what was going to happen after Tory was found guilty, which to me, I admit, was still a shock, or was a shock then and is still a shock now. All we had to do was to see if he could, get a retrial or whatever beforehand, and once that was shown to not happen, wait on the sentencing. Some people were thinking that he might just get probation, get deported right away, since he is a Canadian and he's out here, I think, on a visa or whatever. So they would just deport him right away. Some people were talking about maybe 5 years. I know the DA was requesting 13 years. Some people were thinking the judge might go up to 13 but not pass it. But he was, I think, like 22 years he was at risk of having at the most, the max he could get for this crime. So when you look at it that way, the 10 is not that bad, but still 10 years is a long time to go, especially when you're an artist, and it's kind of hard to stay relevant, in this game with so many new people come in and so much music that's produced and put out to the public. Of course, right now, I think that's the last thing Tory's worried about. Of course, there were letters sent out, some, in support of Tory Lanez. One notable one was Iggy Azalea. All these letters were to speak of Tory's character. I think he had some people incarcerated that sent letters too. Meg sent a letter stating that she wanted Tory to be punished, and Tory had shown no remorse for shooting her. Meg said she hasn't had any peace since that day, or something to that effect. So, of course, Meg being a victim, that's a powerful statement. Tory, for what a lot of people said, was keeping up hope. He was being very hopeful that maybe it wouldn't be so bad. I think that 10 years, anybody would agree that 10 years in prison, even if you were at risk of 22, 10 years is still like you're happy. Happy I only got to 22, but dang, 10. Now, like I said before, I'm still not all the way there with people saying that Tory is guilty, or Tory being found guilty, but that's what it was. He was found guilty. So, I know the people who are celebrating today, and there's a lot of people that are going to be celebrating, happy that Tory got 10 years. Some people saying he should have got more. Some people probably going to be saying he should have got the max. But there are going to be people celebrating justice was served. Black woman got her, justice. Everything is right with the world. And maybe, like I said, there's a lot of weird stuff about this case. And I understand where people are coming from with the Meg thing. It's like, why would she lie about that? That'd be a crazy thing to lie about. And I agree. And when I see Meg crying and going crazy, I am like, why would she lie? And if she is, she's a great actress. And I want to believe her, but then I'm like, there's so much other than those things she's already been caught lying about being in a relationship with Tory, about Kelsey messing with Tory, about her and Kelsey arguing about Tory, about her tripping off of Tory coming up there to see what's her name? Kylie Jenner, about how they ended up in Tory's truck, like about arguments and fights, about her phone not being on, and then later admitting that she had to call, I think it was her manager or her whoever, like in charge of her press or whatever. So there's so much that this is honestly confuses me. And if you want to get to the bottom of this case, why are you causing all these roadblocks, all this confusion? Now, has Tory been a little shady as well? Of course. The phone conversation he had when he was in jail talking to Kelsey, that was weird. The driver of that night not coming to like the last day of trial, and Tory saying he didn't want to have him prepped as a witness. He just wanted to go on with let the jury deliberate for the verdict. That was weird. Kelsey not knowing how she got how she paid for her lawyer. That's weird. That whole Kelsey thing altogether, where she flip-flopped so much back and forth. First she was cool with Meg, then she started beef with Meg, talking about Meg, who really shot you, and all this other stuff. Then she came back and said, no, it was Tory, and started saying Tory did all this stuff. And they recorded her. Then she came on the witness stand and said she lied about that. And Tory never did nothing. You know, the witness testimony, while some people say that was cut and dry, I mean, he does say that Tory at one point had the gun in his hand, but he also says that it was a female firing the gun first. Kelsey was never checked for any of that. I mean, this, to me, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go too far into this, but this is such a crazy story that we don't know what really happened. But the people who are standing for Meg, I get it. They are standing for a woman who has gone through a lot and who's suffering and is clearly still hurt. And the people who are standing for Tory, yes, a lot of them are just, you know, women hating men who just don't want to see a man suffer for a woman, and this has become bigger than Meg. I get that, and to a degree, there are some women who this has become bigger than them too, and they just want a man to suffer. I can see that too, but a lot of what I'm hearing on the men's side, it is a lot about like how women lie and stuff like that. And I'm not tripping off of cases of women lying other places. I'm tripping off of this case. Okay, there are people like me who just honestly, this is confusing, and if you ask me, I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't gotten enough information to say either way, but if you ask me, something else happened that night that everybody does not want to come out and say. And it's crazy that the driver, nobody's even reaching out, or maybe they are reaching out, but like, it's crazy the driver has not been pulled in to give any testimony. I mean, that's just how I feel. But yeah, regardless of how I feel, regardless of what we look at, regardless of holes at either side's argument, you know, Tory's argument, Meg's argument, or Kelsey's argument, regardless of any witness testimony, what they did and didn't say, how it was misrepresented, how it was, you know, represented, yada. Regardless of any of that, Tory's gonna have to do that bid. It'll maybe not complete, but he's got to go in jail. Now he is going to appeal, and he's already started that process. And if he appeals, and if the appeal is successful, all that means is another trial. Now, if he gets another trial and he has a lot of his lawyers working hard on this, is there a possibility they can get an offer on it? I think so. I think there's a possibility. I think there's enough confusion there. I think that you bring up a lot of that confusion and maybe try to, instead of trying to portray that maybe it was Kelsey, allude to it could have been a Kelsey that shot Meg, maybe try to really show the flaws in the case, the flaws in the argument of how things are making sense. That might be a better defense, but I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, so that's for Tory and his legal team to decide. As a fan, it hurts, sucks that I'm not getting any Tory Lanez music. Of course, obviously, if he truly is guilty, not just found guilty by the court of law, but like if he truly did it, then him serving time is way more important than me getting some new Tory Lanez music. I understand that, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit like thing about Tory is he made so much music that, you know, I got something to hold me over for a little while. When he gets out, if he does end up doing 10 years, which he's not gonna do a whole 10 years, but you know, he'll probably do like what, 7, 8, I don't know, however much time good behavior gets you off for, he'll probably do something like that. When he gets out, I think he'll still be able to have a career. You know, his music was pretty much made for, like, you know, us grown people. I think he can still vibe with our age group just moving forward 7, 8 years later. I think he'll be cool. I'm definitely going to Canada. If he can't come back to the States, I'm definitely going to Canada if he's doing a tour out there. That's going to be hard. But yeah, man. This is like I said, a crazy case. Been following this since day one. This is where we come to. I at one point was sure we would not get to this point. I was proven wrong. We are here now, and unfortunately for Tory, he gambled and he took a chance. And if he had took a plea deal, he could have just sent back home to Canada and been a free man. Now he's incarcerated, and once his time is done, he'll be sent back home, and it'll be the same situation. But he just had to do a little time. But hey, that was a chance he was willing to take, and I respect it. As far as the appeals, I'm gonna be on that. I'm gonna be looking at that, watching it, seeing what happens, and hopefully, we get hopefully we get another chance to. I'm not saying hopefully he gets found not guilty. I'm saying hopefully we get another chance to get another trial and revisit some of this evidence again. But that's my opinion. What do you think? Do you think that justice was served here? Are you happy with the time that Tory got? Do you wish he would have got some more? Do you think that what he got, the 10 years, was too much? He should have got less? Do you think that this was an injustice and Tory was wrongfully convicted, should be free, and hoping that he gets an appeal and another trial? And also, do you think that his career is over, or do you think he can come back after he gets out and have a second wave of his career that could be just as good or better, or maybe not even just as good, but still profitable? Another person facing some legal charges now is popular streamer, the Twitch streamer Cenat. He kind of formed a mob, not intentionally, but accidentally, when he asked everybody to come to New York, meet up at a location. He was doing a giveaway, some PS5s, electronics, maybe some money. Just doing a giveaway for people. Asked a few people to come, or asked people to come. I'm sure he thought it was probably going to be like a few hundred. It ended up being like 1,000 or even more than that came, and these were young kids because Cenat, being a Twitch streamer, his audience is mostly younger kids. So they came over there and they proceeded to wild out. The thing is, when you in the discourse and you talking to these people online, you can get a little crazy, but everybody's at home, everybody's chilling. When you bring that same energy out in public, everybody wants to be seen, everybody wants to make a name for themselves, go viral, use these moments. You got a bunch of kids out there acting goofy. Kai promotes very goofy, fun atmosphere. I can see how it can get out of hand. And so they started destroying people's property. They beat up a man for I think he was trying to protect his newsstand or fruit stand or whatever he had. He was trying to protect his business. I think they assaulted him, destroying cars, and just causing a lot of chaos. Of course, Kai at that moment, he was trying to get everybody to calm down. Kai was attempting to work with the police to get people to calm down. Kai was saying they're not giving away anything unless people calm down. But at that point, with that crowd already being how it is, amped up, and not enough police force to stop them and check them, hey man, it happened. Now Kai's been in the news a lot. Or maybe not, but a few times. He had the one girl who came out and accused his friend of assaulting her, which I think later there was kind of some proof, or supposedly proof shown that it was consensual, but whatever, we don't gotta get to that. And then what was it? There was something else before that happened, but just to say he's been getting into some issues. Now Kai's new money, and I think success for him's kind of come up out of nowhere. He's making a lot of money. He's young. Mistakes will happen. And again, he didn't ask all these people to come there because he was trying to start a riot. However, I think Kai needs to start looking to his team, or I don't know who he has on his team. Maybe he needs better people, or maybe they didn't know about this. Maybe he just did this out of nowhere. But when you are a name like that, when you have a brand and you have value and you're worth a lot of money like Kai is, you got to go about things a different way. And so you can't just tell people, hey, come meet me on this street. I know you Kai's probably still feel like a regular dude, but you're not. You are a big influencer and you have millions of fans probably. I think he had millions of fans, and a lot of them are younger, and you have to have, if you're going to have them meet up, it has to be in a controlled environment. Now, like I said, I don't think that his intent was all this to happen. So now, hopefully, moving forward, Kai does better. But as of right now, he is being charged for inciting a mob, and I think for some of the damages and some other charges, federal crimes. Now, do I think they're gonna stay federal? No. Kai's probably gonna do some community service or something, pay some fines, sign some stuff, take some pictures, give a speech about how it was wrong and how to do right and things like that. That's what's up. I think that's what's gonna happen. I seen extreme views on both ends of this. Some people, of course, trying to call them thugs and all that stuff. It's like, no, it's just stupid kids, and not trying to downplay what they did, because what they did was really serious. But let's not pretend like these are just like animals trying to It's not like no January 6th rioters trying to overthrow the government. These are some dumb kids who need their butts whooped, and we need to correct that. And this is a serious crime and serious damage done that needs to be handled too. That's where Kai would come in. But then I also saw people on the other end that try to downplay this and act like, oh man, just kids have fun. Why are you overreacting? It's not that serious, and try to bring race into it. Look, do I think that some of the verbiage used to describe this can be attributed to racism? Of course. Because there were a lot of, black kids there. But do I think that the only people who have anything negative to say about this are racist? No, because people were injured. Property was damaged. People's businesses were assaulted and damaged too. This was not just some small, a couple kids stealing a couple bags of chips or something like that. This was real. This is really bad. And that needs to be acknowledged. You can acknowledge that, but also telling people, yo, chill. This was very bad. But we have to deal with this. This can be managed. These are children. We can correct this. And Kai will do better next time. Right? But instead of, you can do that without acting like, oh, it's no big deal. Because it is a big deal. It's a big deal to the people who were there, who were affected, who were assaulted, who had their property and their business damaged. It is a big deal. So that needs to be respected as well. But with Kai, man, he really does. Hopefully, this is a learning lesson, but he really does need to start going about things more professional. On your Twitch stream, when you just with your people in the control area, you can be loose and goofy and funny and yada, yada, yada. But moving forward, he has to know that if he's going to invite fans to places and stuff like that, that can't be so loose and chill and vibes no more. You're way too big for that now. You on a whole nother platform now, Kai. You can't be acting like you just chilling with the homies with a bunch of strangers. Now you gotta have right security. You gotta get buildings. You gotta do this and that and the third to make sure and you're not held liable for any place. And more importantly, that you're insurable and venues want to book you and have you. If you want to go about that route with revenue and hosting stuff for your fans. You got to start watching stuff. When you start inviting a bunch of strangers or a big group of people that you're not able to control everything on your own, you have to put the necessary precautions in order so that can't nobody come back at you later and sue you, accuse you of your friends or anything, or you get charged for a crime. Straight up. Now, who knows what lawsuits also will come from this from the people that were assaulted or some of the people that were there, the rioters there or whatever. Who knows what will come from that? Now, I know what Kai wanted to do was a nice thing. He was trying to give things away to people. He was trying to be nice. So I'm not going to go too hard on him, and I don't think people should go too hard on him. But this is definitely a moment where you have to start realizing who you are and act accordingly. And I'm hoping, I'm hoping, but I'm thinking also that Kai is aware of that now. What do you think? Do you think that Kai is stupid, that maybe he knew what was going on, or do you think that he should be charged the full extent of the law, he's a bad person? Are you more in agreement with me that maybe he's not the smartest person for what he did, but he didn't mean any harm? Let's just fine him. Let's maybe do some type of outreach program work with him or something like that. And he'll be fine as long as he starts moving accordingly, moving better, moving like he's a brand. Doja Cat is at war with her fans. And it's getting pretty bad. Now, I don't know what caused all of this animosity towards her fan base, because they've been sticking with Doja. When everybody said Doja was racist, they were sticking with her. When everybody said Doja is weird, they were sticking with her. When everybody said or was trying to get at Doja for not liking black men, they were sticking with her. Doja Cat, they've been riding down for Doja, but I guess she don't feel like she owes them anything for that loyalty, which is true because that was their choice. So let's get into it, man. Doja Cat, her fans want to call themselves kittens. Like how all the celebrity people, singers, their fans got a name. Rihanna got her Navy. Beyonce got the Beehive. Nicki got her Barbs. Justin Bieber's got his Beliebers, so on and so forth. Doja Cat fans want to be called kittens. Doja Cat just came out and said, yo, that's stupid. Anybody calling themselves a kitten, you get to get a job, move out your parents' home, and all this other stuff. Pretty much calling them bums and losers, you know. And fans were hurt by that. I know some fans was talking to her about, you know, we did so much for you, you wouldn't even be where you at. It wasn't for us supporting you. To which Doja Cat said, she don't care about none of that. She don't care about none of the fame. I don't know y'all. I don't love y'all. Y'all weird. Get away from me or stuff. You know, just saying all type of stuff. Just going super hard and super ham. Now, I don't know what incident came first, but her reaction to the fans and kind of turn on her fans may have something to do with the fact that Doja Cat is dating this white dude who was like a Vine guy who used to do Vine clips, and now I think he does like Twitch or something like that. He's a streamer now, or he's on social media right now. And he has been accused of being a racist and also being a groomer of children. And when people were coming out to say something to Doja, she took great offense and stood up for him. Never really addressing the issues and saying, and Doja, you know, she never came out and said, oh, that's not true. Or he may have, he's not a groomer. That's not true. I've talked to him about it, yada, yada, yada. Or even saying something like, yo, he's not racist. He was acting out a certain way before. He was ignorant. We've talked about it. Trying to, you know, shoot him some bail or something. Doja just came out straight up, lunging at everybody, ready to go for the kill. And going off on people and telling people that they're having intercourse while she's typing to people saying that she needs to break up with him. It's all type of loose stuff. So I don't know what's going on with Doja Cat, but she's wild. Now, if you know Doja Cat, she was raised with her Jewish mother and the Jewish family, and never really got access to her black side. And maybe a lot of the features that came with her, she kind of hated, because those weren't features that were looked at as beautiful in the community that she existed in. That also would be why I believe she doesn't date black men. She likes white men. And so maybe there's some self-loathing in there. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's causing her to lash out. Some trauma, deep-seated anger that she's holding on to, hasn't dealt with, that's causing her to lash out at people. But she's sticking by her white man. she's sticking by the alleged racist and alleged child groomer. And she's going against people who support her. And I stand with Doja on the side of, you don't owe your fans anything. And there is a such thing as the entitled fan, who feels like if they support an artist, that artist has to, like, that artist owes them something and have to be their friend or whatever. And I do think that that's ridiculous. And if Doja was only standing on that principle alone, I'd rock with her. But she made that point and then went like to the 10th level of insanity. And pretty much said she doesn't care anything about her fans. She don't care about anything about that music she used to make. That was trash music she just made to get on. I mean, just completely dismissing a whole segment of people. And I think she's lost like a bunch of followers. Unless they came back. But I know at one point she did. And I don't know if this is going to be the end of her career, like what's going on with Lizzo right now. But I know it's not good. It's not a good thing when you insult the people who purchase your music. And whether her man is a groomer or not, whether her man is racist or not, I mean, I feel like you owe it to people to address that, especially when so many people have went out to ride for you. I mean, look at what happened when those videos leaked to her on that racist chat line. She came out and she addressed it. She came out and she addressed it, and she came off as vulnerable and sincere and genuine. I think that really went towards saving her career, that along with all the fans who were supporting her as she was being open and honest. So I don't know if a little bit of this is fame going to her head as well. Now she's a little bigger. She feel like she can talk however she want to talk. I don't know how much of this could possibly be, and I'm not accusing Doja of being on anything, but I don't know how much of this could possibly be, you know, some type of substance abuse. I don't know anything. I don't know what Doja do, but you look at her Instagram and some of these weird pictures she posts, and you kind of get that feeling that something's going on. I used to be in love with Doja Cat. She used to be my celebrity crush. And I look at some of the things she does now, and I'm like, thank God she don't like black men. Because, golly, could you imagine having to deal with a black man having to deal with that? Nah. I'm like, you know what? That's cool that you like. That's cool that you like white men. You can stay over there. That's fine. You know, she got extra skinny now. You know, back in the day, Doja was thick. She was the thighs. I'm like, whoo, she was fine. Now she's a little scrawny little thing, and it's like, you can go over there. We good. We got you. But yeah, though, man. It seems like Doja is at a point in her life where maybe she's trying to reestablish herself, find herself, or whatever it is. I don't know. But she has her approach to things has definitely changed. At the end of all this, I hope that everything's okay with her. I hope that she's fine. I know being in the spotlight can be stressful. You know, I know people like to say, oh, poor rich person, but being a celebrity can be stressful when all eyes are on you and you're being scrutinized and your preferences and picks and all that are, you know, being under attack. So I get that. And I have sympathy for that. But I do believe maybe she should get some help, and she probably maybe she's doing that. And if she is, if Doja's reaching out and getting help, therapy, and other people to come and assist her with what she should do, then that's great. And I think that's the right direction to go. But hopefully we hear some more from this, and hopefully she'll be able to open up and talk to us, and I just lash out and let us know what's going on with Doja, because I think a lot of people, especially her fans, even though she don't want them to be kittens, they still care about her. What y'all think? I think Doja Cat is just some ego-driven pop star who's letting the fame and the money go to her head, and she's gotten where she come from. Or you think she's deeply disturbed, either through substance abuse, childhood trauma, issues with a race, all the above, some type of swirl of concoction of trauma, that's causing her to lash out at these people? Do you think that a man is racist and a groomer? Do you think that she's handled this? Do you think that she should address those issues and communicate with the audience of what's real and what's not, and things like that? You think that people are owed that? So that's the show for this week. Thank you all so much for tuning in, taking in this whack wisdom, and I hope that you come back next week to get a little bit more from me. As always, if you're listening to this podcast on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Spotify, please make sure to do all the things you can do on there, like, review, add us, follow, whatever. Really would help the platform out a lot. With that being said, this is the WACCast podcast, and I am whacking off.
It's the WACCast podcast, yeah. Talk whack to me, talk whack to me, yeah. Talk whack to me, talk whack to me. It's the WACCast podcast, yeah. Talk whack to me, talk whack to me, yeah. Talk whack to me, talk whack to me.